Are they little flowers? Oh, they're nice, aren't
We won't start here. When we finish, you can have a wander around and look at all the exhibits.
Right.
But I'll just take you through all the milling process.
Yeah.
And what went on. So up you go. Let's go to right. We'll go through this door. We'll start in here. Yep. Straight through. I'll take you through the whole sort of milling process and what went on. So, farmer would come horse and cart, he'd be bringing his grain to be made into flour, but it might be wet, so you can't build wet flour, so you've got to dry it out. So, this was a drying kiln. Now the whole floor was covered in these tiles, like so.
Oh yeah.
So they'd spread out all the corn and the grain, and there'd be a big fire underneath here, a furnace, which would be putting hot air up to dry out the corn, ready for the next stage. So that's really what happened there.
All right. Okay. So you have to wear hats.
They could go on top.
Yeah, that's okay. Can I have a white one?
I've seen them wearing on top. So
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
just come up, you're alright. Right, so we've got bags of flour, bags of grain, which need to be milled.
Right.
So we've got to get that right to the top. So let's move up.
Okay.
I didn't borrow a pen.
Have we got a pen?
Okay, no, it's a laser pen.
Oh right.
Pointing out.
So this is all right. This is yeah.
I'll tell you all about this as we come down.
Right.
So, like the grain, we'll start at the top.
Big stern scale. Can you see?
Yeah, it's scary. Oh yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Exactly like this.
It's the point.
Look at the gears there, T. Well,
Oh yeah, massive. It feels like they're gonna fall apart.
oh right, yeah. That's the back. That lifts it up.
Right. Show you what goes on up there. Have one of those. There, youngster. One of those. One of those. Now this. At the back, these are the sails out here on this end.
Yeah.
You can just see them. At the back, the end of that is the fantail. You can see it from outside. Sticking out the back, fantail. That, you've always got to have the windmill facing into the wind.
Yeah.
Otherwise the cap could be blown off.
Yeah.
So the way they do it is this turns and through the gears, chomp, 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 it turns that pinion there.
Yeah.
So that as it turns, it moves it round. Now this rack goes right the way around the whole of the cap. You won't see it now, I'll show you in a minute up there.
Yeah.
But we all can't get up there, you see, that's the trouble.
Right.
So that goes all the way around and it's driven, so it'll always move into the wind so that the sails are pointing into the wind. Right, next one.
Thank you.
Where's your,
This one.
Yeah, this is it.
where's your picture? All right,
Right.
yeah.
There you go. So here, it's very different with the perspective. The sails are on the end of this. This is the main shaft, which is going out with the sails on the end of it. Attached to this shaft is this brake wheel. Huge wheel, it's about 20 foot across of it. And on the outside of it are a wooden frame which can be clamped by these pulleys, and it would actually clamp the brake wheel.
Yeah.
So that would stop
it turning.
the sails going round. So that's one way that the miller can use it for maintenance. He can stop
Yeah.
it turning. So we've got the main shaft, brake wheel. Now, when you think the sails are going that way round, but that's no use to, you know, for the power. The power wants to be that way.
Yeah.
So we have to turn it through 90 degrees. So that wheel is going that way around. Touching the bottom of it
Yeah.
is a wallower wheel.
That one. Yeah.
That wallower wheel.
Yeah.
Now that wallower wheel is on the end of this here. Now that's the main shaft of the windmill. I think it's about 2 foot across that. So the brake wheel goes round. It's engaged with the wallower, which turns that round. So you've got your movement going through 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So the main power is going to be coming down there. So far, have a look.
Yeah, that's why you have the hard hat.
Right.
Oh yeah, you can see it all now. Yeah.
So, when I said the pinion is here,
Yeah.
and that cog is going right the
Yeah.
way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the very top of the windmill.
That is the brake wheel
Yeah.
up there,
Yeah.
with the shaft going out of the.
Yeah. Is that those are the blades of the windmill? That's
the
the
wood on the outside is the brake.
yeah. Yeah.
See, that's the little pinion
Yeah.
that turns and the cog goes right the way. So you can see that they're not going right the way around. And this is the wallower,
Yeah.
which is turning that shaft in the middle. So that's all the power. Okay, let's go to the next floor.
Yeah.
This trapdoor, this would go right down to that
yeah.
bottom floor. You'd engage it from the next floor down, which then turns this, which hoists the sack up.
Yeah.
So you've got,
Windmill power does that as well. Yes.
I mean it's all gravity and wind power.
Yeah.
So you've got the grain here. So how many boxes can you see around here?
1, 2, 3. Yeah. 4. Yeah.
So there's 4.
Yeah.
That means there's 4 stones
Right.
downstairs.
Yeah.
So you pour your grain into here. Now you can have different grades of stone for different sorts of cereal. So we've got the big shaft going round. We've put your corn down through those hoppers. Let's go downstairs. Okay, so we've got that big shaft, that 2 foot shaft turning up there, and it's turning this, which is known as the great spur wheel. So again, all the power is going to come off there. Now we want to use the sap lift. So we take off power off the great spur wheel onto this, which with a belt, so again everything's coming off. This would be, that's how we use the,
Yeah.
again that's where it would come up through.
Yeah, there.
So
Yeah.
the sacks would be going up to the top. We had 4 of those hoppers upstairs, so we've got 4 sets of stones. Now a set of stone is 2. There's 2 which they don't in fact touch. You don't want them to touch because that would be sparks, and sparks where there's dust is dangerous. So they keep them slightly apart, and that determines how coarse or how fine the grain is. So we finished this where it is, that big square shaft. As that turned, it was rattled. It shook this, and in shaking it, it dribbled or allowed the corn to flow into the centre of the, depending upon what angle that was, depending on how fast or slow the corn was fed into the stone. So we've got 4 stones, all of which can be driven. If you look at what's known as a stone nut, which if you come right back here, you see that they can engage that cog. So each of the stones can be individually connected, or just one at a time, or all of them. So they engage that into the great spur wheel, which turns the stones. So you're grinding away this is the sort of thing that's happening.
Yeah.
So they use you see the governors downstairs. So they had to adjust it so they didn't. They keep the stones apart. They don't touch. So there's different mechanisms for keeping them at the same distance. This was one method, which was you have to do it by hand. This one was done by a windmill arrangement. So that speed control is interesting. That conical, again, that is a way for a constant drive, which somebody I was showing around said, "Oh, that's how daft cars actually use that same principle, in recent times." So we've got the flour coming down. In this case, say for these here, it's fed into this. Shaker. It's a sifter.
Yeah.
Right. So, because it's grounded, but there's very coarse and fine, and so you want to separate it. So this again, this is driven, and this shakes this sifter so that the residue is kept in there, and the fine stuff will go through. This one round here is a similar. If you have a look at this one, and notice it's like you sit flour at home.
Yeah.
That's all this does.
Yeah.
It's coming down from the stone, driven by this belt, so that the fine stuff will fall through. The coarse stuff goes down there.
Yeah.
So the coarse stuff can be used for animal feed or such like. The fine stuff, which is what you'll be using to make your bread and baking with. That's another sort of a sifter, which is